I am with Kay Coover. She works at Pine Acres in Dekalb, and we've been talking about some amazing programs you used in the pandemic to keep connections and socialization going. But also, what about you? Tell us how did you go about, did your job change last year? And how did you manage the stress of the pandemic? Do you have any tips for people who are not 17 years in it?
It was hard. Take a deep breath. It really does help. Honestly, just going in your office, closing your door, and taking a nice deep breath. If you have family, look at those pictures. It just kind of puts the world in perspective for you. It is hard and it is stressful and it is a lot of work, and it's okay to cry. It's okay, but just know that everything that you're doing, you are truly making a difference. Not only to the residents, but to their family members too. I mean, I cannot imagine, I put myself as a family member every day, and I cannot imagine being in their shoes. And so even that little bit that we're doing, it's something, but it does get overwhelmed and it does get very stressful. And activity director is not a position where you're going to always get the pat on the back that we all deserve. We are all going above and beyond every single day, and it's a job that's not really acknowledged a lot in the nursing field. So yeah, lots of deep knowing that stay your focus, stay your ground. Your ground is your residents. You know, when you're having a really bad day, go out there and, you know, visit those residents who are going to lift up your spirit. I mean, you just have to do it. You really do. It's hard.
Did you find your job completely changed in 2020? Did you end up doing a lot of other things?
Yeah, so we started, you know, with the wonderful visitations of families, which, you know, every activity director in the world, I think, became responsible of, and trying to navigate that and the regulations, you know, checking the temperatures, calling, and the pre-screening, and, you know, working very closely with your director of nursing or your assistant director of nursing to make sure that all infection control protocols are followed, on top of running your programs, on top of learning the virtual world. It wasn't easy. A good team, you know, and it helps a lot, you know, and being open and communicative with your team that you're working with, if you're lucky enough to have a team. I know many of activity directors out there are doing this solo, and I take my hats off to you, because I don't know how you could do this solo. And hopefully whoever's running your facility acknowledges that hard work, because it is hard. It's hard. So
took you to new lengths of stretching last year, and probably sadly into this year still a little. Did you end up doing the outdoor areas where families could visit? How did you manage that?
So we had to be responsible for the virtual, we do window visits. We do outside visits when our region allows us to, and when the weather allows. We were able to do inside visits for 1 week before our region had to go back down into tier 3, and they kind of cut us off on it. It was hard. So what we did is we literally just had to give an afternoon and a couple of days out of the week, and we blocked it off for visits. And I had one staff member that was just doing those visits. The nice thing is, we were very open and communicative with the family members. When they called and scheduled us, we let them know. We know how wonderful it is. We know you're excited to see your loved one, but these are the rules, you know. That was the hard part. And I think that a lot of people overlook how hard that is for somebody to witness. A lot of times I had to change my staff out because it became emotionally overwhelming for them, to consistently hear family members say, can you just let me touch them? Can you just? So it becomes very overwhelming. And I think as activity directors, you know, if we're not doing it ourselves, there needs to be a rotation, because that is a mental stress that is hard for someone to watch day in and day out. But yeah, so we had disinfectant. We had a disinfectant between people. We had a table that was 6 feet distance. We had an outside tarp, you know, that we had to put up and put down every night. So yeah, we had schedules. We had made sure that there was 3 minutes, depending on whatever infection control
Okay.
sanitizer you're using, you have to make sure there's a 3-minute, break in between visitors.
Okay.
So yeah,
Wow.
it's a
Well,
lot.
yeah, yeah, but you did it. You did do it. And you guys are, next week is National Activity Professional Week. And thank you so much for all you do and to your team. And
Well, thank you.
I love finding on LinkedIn some of the special, really out of the box thinking with these college kids.
Hmm.
You're really just taking things to a new level.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah, seriously, I'd love to see you guys have just last year, the amount of the stretch that you all had to do is like nothing else. Any last quick nugget of wisdom you would share? Did you do anything fun with the hallway carts or?
Oh, the hallway carts are so much fun, but very time consuming. You know what? My advice is put on some music and dance and have a good time. And remember, having a good time is for everybody. Music goes forever and across the board. And that's what I tell my staff when they're feeling down, when we're feeling low. We grab an iPad, we grab our phones, we grab a speaker, and we just play music down the hallway, and we dance in the hallways with the staff and with the residents. Have fun, take a deep breath. You're doing okay. It's okay. You're doing okay.
I think that is a great way to kind of wrap up too, because it doesn't have to be this glitz and glam. You get a really great speaker and you get those tunes going and they can feel that energy going up and down the hallways.
Yep. And just be goofy. Have fun.
Would you be comfortable, and you absolutely, not like putting on the spot, but they can go through me, if anyone had interest to learn about how you worked with the university, people to reach out to you or find?
Oh, absolutely. I love having people grow the program and giving them resources. I don't think that everything should be limited to just my facility. I think seniors across the board, so if they have any questions, any concerns, any guidance, how to get into the door, how to get a professor on board. It's not easy. It is work, but with commitment, you make it happen. You just have to be committed to it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. So you can be found on LinkedIn. It's K Coover. Is that right? Coover.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
At Pine Acres, DeKalb. Thank you so much. I'm going to wrap that up.